happen coming out of turn 4.
See him right in the middle of our screen there. He may get a little contact from behind. He gets a little contact from behind. Is that Zach Ralston behind him and just turns him in towards the outside wall? You see the tire carcass flying out. Let's watch that engine there. You see the
slam down to the ground.
Now the engine's already pretty much loose. There's the spring sliding out around the racetrack.
There's that fire we talk about, but it was immediately extinguished.
This is Zach Ralston the night. He lifts the back end of that car up, turns it into the outside wall. He already starts tumbling about the time it hit that outside wall.
It looked like the two guys in front of him there, we were talking about real estate earlier, got a little bit too close, and you know, he may have lifted ever so slightly. When you do that, the guy hits you from behind. Obviously, once the rear tires are off the ground, you're not any movement on that wheel is going to turn you that direction, and unfortunately turned him head on into the outside wall, and over he went.
And remember, it's the landings that are violent.
Yeah, flying through the air, I do that.
Yeah.
It's
wow. Look how high that tire got up above the car.
He's probably glad this is one ride in his life that's over. I mean, you know, when it's all said and done, you don't see many like that anymore, and that was really safe.
We're going to take a look at it
safe.
At about 200 miles an hour here.
It looked like when he got turned into the outside wall, the left front tire dug in before he even got to the wall.
6.5 tumbles for Mike Afrano.
Yeah, I mean, if you hear Zach, he's checking up as soon as he's hitting.
Just saw the window net come down.
Here we go on the bottom. Just gets sideways by himself. Kenny, what'd you say?
Yeah, he got a little bit loose when the car was going around the outside of him, and tumped it over about as simple as you're going to here.
Yep.
What kind of a ride is that, Ken?
Well, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. It's just if he'd have gotten that grass with about 60 mile an hour more, then it could have got exciting.
See him right here on the bottom of the racetrack.
Got Billy on the outside of him. He wants to come up, and he doesn't have the room there.
Nope.
So he gets the car bound up, and it just
takes off. Wow.
Well, and these cars are going over 180 miles per hour. I talked to the pilot when I flew down here from Charlotte. In a 100-ton airplane, they say they only go 160 miles an hour when they actually lift off the runway. So these cars are going faster and weigh a lot less. It's easy for them to get off the ground.
Here we go out the rear camera.
Wow. See, the car just turned sideways so fast that the roof flaps really didn't have time.
Drafting. Looked like it really got into the 7 of Cody Robaugh, and that got him into Justin Fontaine. But again, nothing these drivers could do. They're just along for the ride right here.
When they're running this close, it's one thing when you're going down the backstretch in a straight line. How difficult is that to do when you're all hooked up nose to tail and coming through that little kink in the trioval?
There's a 55, Noah Gregson, his on board. Watch out to his left side of his window. You see the green car get a little bit of a bump. He gets into 7, and that puts the 7 up into the outside line where he makes contact. Somebody just inches away from you, both front, back, and on your side.
Wild ride in the Promatic car for Justin Fontaine.
It eases over on its roof. The encouraging thing is there was not a hard hit. I mean, you have hard flips and easy flips. That was a relatively easy flip.
The flip was fine. It was the initial impact into the safer barrier that was more significant.
And thank goodness for that safer barrier you just mentioned.
Again, upper right, watch it. He and Boucher make contact. The car slides around. I think maybe he got help getting up in the air by Boucher's car.
The front of Boucher's car did lift him up. Look at that car teeter-totter on top of Boucher's car, folks. Wow. What a ride. That was wild.
But Andy Belmont is okay. Watch it from this angle now. Look at the height that this car achieves. Man. As you can see, they build a wall and a fence to keep drivers and cars.
And Rogelio looking for room to race. It's not there.
Boy, they just ran out of room.
And that, again, you know, Rogelio, we mentioned he is tied for the rookie.
Look at Eric Holmes diving low. Duncan gets by.
Sparks and short flames in there. Now, where do Kovaluk and Lofton get into it? See, they've had contact together behind this incident in the 40 and the 66 car. Wow. Lopez was trying to move back to the high side, and Borneman was there. Borneman had made his car, had put his car in that spot. Here it is in real time.
Scott Gaylord did a great job. He was right behind him. There's Lofton. You just got a glimpse of Lofton and Kovaluk. There's Borneman.
Now, there was a hole there for Borneman's car, and he put it there. Lopez trying to work his way back to the top line. Just really turned probably too soon. Look at the sparks flying.
What's amazing is after this ride, that car just turned right side up.
That was the nice finish to it. Slow motion now. Boom. All right, now we're going to hold the shot here, and we'll watch just to the right of your screen. Here's Kovaluk down on the inside of Lofton. Everyone's trying to get woed up, and Kovaluk makes contact with Lofton as he's trying to move.
Take a look. There we see, looks like he tries to drive under those two cars and gets back end out, comes along. The roof flaps do come up, keeps the car on the ground, and bam! He slams in the inside wall. Now the car's going to turn about 90 degrees, backs in the fence, and it will start. The rear tire comes off, knocks the rear tire off. He gets under the car and kind of wants to flip the car over. It does flip it over. Now here will come Del McCower in the zero and
right side of your screen.
It slide into that car.
Wow. Coward's car number 0 hitting the car from underneath.
We saw that last year with Ed Dixon doing the same thing at this race last year.
Here's a different angle of that accident. Right side of your screen, Ron Burchett's Pontiac.
Kind of was already in the slide there, Benny. I think he may have been trying to turn away from Devane just a touch.
I think he was trying to turn away from keep from hitting the 33 car. And when he did, he lost the back end and went down and slammed the inside wall. Once again, hits it with the back. And now the car is going to start flipping.
He pancaked that concrete with the passenger side and backed it into the wall. Almost exactly the same place as you see. There's Del McCowart's car coming in that Joe Bessie hit in the spring during the Busch Grand National race here up in turn 3.
Yes.
Bessie was involved with Randy Legend.
See Ryan's on the outside following Billy Leslie. There's Patrick Shelter. The 11 of Brian Silas makes contact. Wow.
Up into the wall. Patrick Shelter hits him, slides him up into the wall, and then the rolls begin.
It looked like the 25 of Ryan Fisher just launched over the 60 of Patrick Sheltra. You see that car slid for a little bit right on the roof, right over top of the driver, but these cars are so well built. Here's another view. You see the 60 get sideways.
60 sideways and then into the 25. And like you mentioned, Phil, launched.
Yeah, from that first view, it looked like Brian Silas turned down, but once Patrick Shelter caught his car from being sideways, he actually drifted up the racetrack and made contact with Brian Silas.
Right along with Brian Silas here and see the view he had of this one.
Saw Brian got out of the throttle to try to give him room. He's the one that made contact with the 22 of Josh Wise. Brian did a good job of keeping his car straight.
And again, this is a look real time now. Sheltra's going to go to the right. That was Ryan Fisher in that 25. And again, it was Lofton that got into the side of that 52. And up and over he went. But just before we saw that, it looked as though Mason Mitchell in the 6 was slow on the racetrack, maybe saw the 52 sliding.
You see the 52 is around sideways. He tried to exit the corner high coming off turn number 2. Lost a little bit of rear grip, got sideways, and here's the contact with the 16 of Matt Lofton.
Chad Hockenbraugh trying to stay out of that inside wall, and then a little contact late with Matt Lofton in the 16, tears the left rear quarter panel off.
You see Chad, he just wiggled a little bit, then got his right sides up where nobody had gone, and it was just the impact from Matt Lofton's car that turned that car over.
And that was right in the driver's side door. So great to see Chad Boat climb out of that car and walk away, as we also were able to take a look at Matt Lofton. Incredible at the speeds that these cars are traveling.